What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the House of Shred. My name is Brett. Today we're going to be looking at a single string shred lick in the style of Yngwie Malmsteen, but we're going to tweak the scale a little bit so it doesn't sound exactly like him. Let me play it for you a couple times, and then I'll explain. All right? See if I can get another gear out of here. So it's in kind of a cool scale, and it's an intricate enough pattern where it sounds nice even if you play it kind of slow. And you can sort of hear chords in the background as you're playing it, which is, always something worth thinking about. All right, so let's look at the scale first, and then we will look at the particulars of the lick. So the scale goes 0, 2, 4, 5 on the first string, and then 7, 8, 10, 12. And as you know, anything that happens on this side of the 12th fret repeats on this side of the 12th fret, with the 12th fret acting like the nut. So you'd have the same pattern up high. This guitar doesn't have 24 frets, so I got to bend to get that last E, but I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. All right, so let's look at the pattern itself. This is just going to be straight alternate picking. There's no discussion of economy picking or continued downstrokes or sweep picking or any of that. We're just, you want the pick just a flapping back and forth for this one. And we're not going to worry about speed just yet. We'll get to that in a minute. So let's just look at the first little portion of this pattern. And it's the same pattern repeating through the scale on the way down. So that's down, up, down, up. So we'll get nice and close to the camera here. So I'm playing with my first, second, and fourth fingers. You can do this with your first, third, and fourth fingers as well if you are more inclined to do that. So we have the first note, the third note, the second note, and then the first note again. All right, so that's 12, 14, 16. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to back it up 2 frets. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We're just going to back it up another 2 frets. Now at this point, up until now, it's just been whole steps. In other words, notes that are all 2 frets apart from each other. So now the pattern changes a little bit when we get to the 7th position, or when our finger's on the 7th fret. So this is 7, 8, and 10. All right, then we back up. Notice we're keeping any of the notes above, where we've already played. We're still maintaining those. We're not changing those notes. So like the 7th and 8th fret notes, it's B and C, right? The next pattern has those same 2 notes. We're just moving down one in the scale. So we're going to have 5, 7, and 8. 4, 5, and 7. 2, 4, and 5. And then you can play the low E string. Sorry, the high E. And if you're not into the whole alternate picking thing, let's see what it sounds like just with all downstrokes. That still sounds pretty cool. So even if we're not in like full shred mode yet, maybe you're not there and you're playing, or maybe it's just not your thing, it's still a good pattern to have in your back pocket. All right, so let's say you've played it, you've got it to the point where you've memorized where all the notes are on the guitar, and you're comfortable with where the downstrokes and the upstrokes fall. Each iteration of this pattern starts on a downstroke. Unless you like it the other way, which, you know, whatever. Who cares? As long as the notes come out. As long as it sounds right, it's right. So what can you do from there to get a little bit more mileage out of it? Well, a lot of these sort of repeated patterns, you can play them backwards. Maybe you have to, in some cases, you know, maybe we would have to change the pick slant or something like that. You might have to make some tweaks to things. But this is a case where you really, as far as the right hand goes, you don't really have to make any changes at all to play this backwards. So here's what it sounds like ascending. I think that sounds pretty killer. You know, for the first two, you could play in the same position. But for consistency, I like this. Because I'm really doing most of the action with these three fingers, and the first finger serves almost as a capo. Oh, I broke the scale there. So for consistency, I play the first one with the open string. My first finger is just kind of hanging out there, and I play it with my second and fourth fingers. So let's run that. Let's look a little closer at that. So instead of starting with the low note and then descending to it, we actually are going to start with a high note and then ascend to it. So when on the descending version, you're leading with your first finger. Your first finger going. In this case, your pinky is going. If I play the scale right. So something else to kind of just consider. So pinky, first finger, middle note finger, whichever one you're going to pick. Back to the pinky again. I keep playing E major. This is a really cool scale. It is actually the fifth mode of A melodic minor. So mixolydian flat 6, that's the fifth mode of melodic minor. You probably just don't even care what any of that means, but melodic minor is just a major scale with a flat third. And it kind of has one half that sounds minor and one half that sounds major. The thing about the mixolydian flat 6 scale is it just switches those. So there's your kind of major sounding scale, part of the scale. And then there's your kind of minor sounding part of the scale. And maybe I'll do a lesson on that in the future as far as some of these licks that I'm playing there. But this is a cool scale that goes over an E major. Or in like an E7. And unless you're playing one of these kinds of things, where someone's playing a natural 6 there, this would fit in a blues. You know, if your accompaniment is maybe more just kind of going. There I go twang banging again. I really like that phrase. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. There's been a lot of rambling and a lot of stuff in here that is not the lick I was trying to show you, which once again... Descending. Ascending. I don't know. I'm not satisfied just leaving it there. It just sounds kind of weird. If you guys have any questions or any comments or anything, please be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. But if you hit the dislike button, please tell me why. I don't care if you're an a-hole about it or not. I really do appreciate the feedback, though. Like the twang banging guy. I keep bringing that up, but you know, it's true. I'm House of Shred. I shouldn't be going nearly as much. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Get that pick moving back and forth, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.